Good morning, African Stars International School Grade 6 learners. So welcome to your Mathematics Term 2 Lesson 6. Okay. For today we are going to look at the new topic, which is measurement of time. Okay. So you need to pay attention here. Measurement of time. Then we are going to start with Unit 1, which is 12 hours and 24-hour clock time. Okay. We are going to look at 12 and 24-hour clock time. That's our first unit. Okay, so but before we move on with our lesson, let us look at first to the solutions to the previous exercise. Okay, remember in the last lesson we were talking about problem solving involving those measurement of length, mass and capacity. Okay, so let's try to give this. Now the first exercise 7.10, the page 123 now. Okay, let me just pick a pen here so I can solve that together. Okay, the first one is say for the town A is 874.8 kilometers from here. Okay, I even drew that picture for you. Okay, let me say we are here from this point. That's where we are. Okay, that is 874.8 kilometers from here. Okay, so let me say this is town A, then town B. You are from town A going to town B. Okay, then they said town B is 963.7 kilometers away. That's like the distance between A and B is that 963.7 kilometers. Now we need to find how much further is it to town B if you are here, and you know that the distance here is, can we write this is 963, okay, 0.7 kilometers. So what you can do here, you are going to subtract. You have to say, okay, 963.7 kilometer. Okay, we know how to subtract using decimal number minus 800. Okay, that's 874.8 kilometer. Okay, don't forget the units. Then from there you can bring down the kilometer down. Okay, you say 7 minus 8, you know that is not possible. Then you come and borrow here, you're left with a 2. Now you have 17. You say from there, say 17 minus 8. If you subtract 8 from 17, you get 9. Okay, now again here we have 2 minus 4. That is not possible. Then you come and borrow, then you're left with a 5. Let me put my 5 up here. 5. Then you give 1 to 2. Now we have 12. 12 minus 4, that is 8. Okay, don't forget the decimal point. Okay, the decimal point should come down here. Okay, let me put it here. Okay, the decimal point come down here. Just erase this dots. Okay, then from there, okay, now we say 12 minus 4 is 8, right? Okay, then you say 5 minus 7. Again, it's not possible. Go and borrow from 9. Now we have 15 minus 7. Okay, 15 minus 7 is also 8. Okay, and 8 minus 8 is 0. So that means there is only 8.9 kilometers left to reach B. Okay, then we go to number 2 of the next exercise. Number 2, they say a supermarket sells coffee for $26.95 for 75 grams and $9.25 for 250 grams. Now which one is the better buy? Which one is the cheapest? So here what you can do first, maybe you can even try to change. They are all of the same units, it's fine. Okay, but this one can see this one is smaller too. What you can do, you can try to change find the number. You can even multiply 25 by a certain number so that you can come up with which will give you, which will give you 750 gram. Okay, for example, if you multiply that by 3, just we want to compare, suppose it has same unit, then we compare the prices. Okay, same grams. If it has same grams, then you compare the same. Once you multiply that by 3, you multiply the price also by 3. Okay, of course that is obvious. If you multiply 200, let me just do that, 250. Okay, you can leave out the units for now, multiply by 3. Okay, to see if you are getting 750 gram. 3 multiplied by 0 is 0. 5 multiplied by 3, that is 15. You write down the 5 here, then you give away the 1. 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, plus this one, that is 7. Okay, now that is mean. Then you do the same to the amount now. Okay, you do the same, you multiply the amount also by the price by 3. 9 point, we know how to multiply decimal numbers, 0.25 multiplied by 3. Okay, so that we can compare the prices. 5 multiplied by 3, that is 15. You do the same, write the 5 here, give away the 1. 2 multiplied by 5 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Okay, decimal point come down there. Then you say 9 multiplied by 3, that is 27. Okay, that means 27. So you can see that here, that means for this coffee, the 250 gram, if the 250 gram can cost $900.25, then the 750 gram to cost 27, which is more than this one. So this one is the best buy, is the cheapest one. Okay, then number 3, or the last exercise, number 3, they say a can holds 340 milliliter of cold drink. Now, how many liter of cold drink are in 18 cans? Okay, so what you can do first, just if you want to find, first you can find how many milliliters of cold drink are in 18 cans. Okay, so you have to multiply that. That's 1 can hold 340, okay, milliliter. Now what about 18? You multiply that by 18. Okay, so let me just continue that up here, this side, because it's 150. Then from there you say 8. You start with multiplying everything by 8. 8 multiplied by 0, that is just 0. Then from there, 4 multiplied by 8 is 20 what? 4 multiplied by 8 is 30, not 20 but 32. Then you write the 2 here, then give away the 3. Okay, no, not 3 here, but the 3 you give it out, 3 to the next digit. Then you say 3 multiplied by 8, that is 24. Now 24 plus 3, that is 27. Then you write the 27 here. Okay, 27. Then now you are done multiplying by 8. You start multiplying by 1. Because 1 is a tens place, down there at units place you put a 0. You start multiplying by 1. 0 multiplied by 1 is 0. Put the 0 here. 4 multiplied by 1 is 4. Then you say 3 multiplied by 1 is 3. Okay, at this point you should add them together. Okay, can you even say milliliter here? They are still in milliliter. In milliliter. Okay, they are in milliliter. Then add them together. Okay, if you add them together, you should get, what is that? 0 plus 0, that is 0. Okay, can we start with milliliters? Okay, the units first. Can we start with units? 0. 2 plus 0, that is 2 now. Then 7 plus 4, that's 11. You can put the 1 here. Then write the, give the 1 away. 1 plus 2 is 2 plus 3 is 6. Okay, that means that is equal to 6,120 milliliter. Okay, 18 cake is, not cakes, but sorry, canes. 18 canes is equal to 6,120 milliliter. But the question says how many liters. We need to change now these to liters. We know how to change to liters. We can divide that by 1,000. Okay, if you divide that by 1,000, and I told you how to divide by 1,000, just move the decimal point backward 3 steps. The decimal point is always here in whole numbers. Okay, you move it backward 3 steps, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that means that is equal to 6.12 liters. Okay, then let's move on with our lesson. So like I told you, we are going to look at measurement of time. Well, today we are just going to talk about 12-hour and 24-hour clock time. Okay, so now let's look at digital clocks now. Okay, now digital clocks, let me just first, digital clocks show the time in numerals and work in 24 hours or 12 hours. Okay, so it's depends, it's just up to you. You can set them in 24 hours or in 12 hours. Yeah, they start at midnight. You should know that they start at midnight. Okay, and these are digital clocks. Okay, they display time in numerals. As you can see in this, it has that screen that display time in number. Okay, and we also have analog clocks. Okay, they say 12 analog clocks use the abbreviation AM, which means under meridian, and PM for post meridian. Okay, these abbreviations show us that the time is in the morning. For example, AM, that is morning time, or is in the afternoon or in the evening. Okay, for afternoon and evening we use PM. Okay, these are analog clocks as you can see them. Okay? So now let's look at this example. You say, example, write the time on the clock faces. If the clock in number 1 shows the time, let's suppose this is number 1. Let me pick a pen. Okay? Oh, sorry. Let me go back. Suppose this is number 1. Let's just say this is number 1. Okay. In number 1 and then number 2. Sorry. Okay. They say number 1 shows the time in the morning and the clock in number 2 shows the time in the evening. Okay. So we need to write down the time now in numerals and in words. Okay. So for number 1, you can see the time is the minute. The long hand shows the minutes, right? If you can remember, don't forget. Then the short hand show the hour. Okay, that means if the long hand pointing at 4, you have to start here. Then you start counting 5. From 12 to 1 is 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then 20 minutes. That is 20 minutes past. Okay, remember when you are saying it in words, you start with the minutes. If your minutes are less than 13, then you have to use the word that 20 minutes past the time. The time is 8. Okay, in numerals that is just 8:20. Okay, but because we were told that we know this is in 12-hour clock. Okay, this is a 12-hour clock. Then we were told that it shows the time in the morning. That's why we have to use AM. Okay, that's why we have to say this is 8:20 AM, or in words you can say 20 minutes past 8 in the morning. Okay, then the number two says we were told that this clock shows the time in the evening. Okay, so in the evening, now this is the time. The long hand is pointing at 9. The short one is between 11 and 12. Okay, if it's between two numbers, that means the time is always the small number. It means the time is 11, but you don't know how many minutes pass. If you count until here, counting in 5 from 12 until here, you can see that it's 45 minutes. But since your minutes are more than 30, you don't use the word past. You can't say 45 minutes past 11. Okay, you can just mention how many minutes left to go to the next hour. I know some people use do that. You can say 45 minutes past 11, but it's not the correct way of saying it. Okay, you have to say 15 minutes to 12, like 15. How many minutes? You have to mention how many minutes left to go to the next hour, which is 12. So that will be 15 minutes to 12. Since we were told that it's in evening, I have to say 11:45 p.m. because p.m. is for afternoon or evening. In words, 15 minutes to 12 in the evening. Okay, here's your exercise. Okay, exercise. They say record the time on the clocks and write the times in 24-hour clock time in words and numerals. Okay, you do the same as we did in that example. Okay, just try to do it and the solution will be provided in the next lesson. Okay, so we have come to the end of our today's lesson. Just to remind you again, guys, don't forget to wash your hands regularly, sanitize, and avoid crowded places. Okay, and if you happen to go outside in public, don't forget to put on your mask. Okay, be safe, have a good day.